Well, it's so unfortunate. I mean, who among us hasn't had a brawl or some sort of unfortunate exchange with a sibling? I mean, that's called life. You don't run to a publisher and put it all in print with the intention of hurting the person, talking about how he's always scowling at me and how he used the press agencies within the palace to hurt me and his unattractive bald head, and he looks nothing like our mother. I mean, he hates his brother. That's the big reveal that we've seen so far. He can't stand Prince William.
Yes, but the tragedy, and it is a tragedy in all this, is that until Meghan appeared on the scene, Harry and William were very, very close friends, and they were known as the Three Musketeers with Kate. They were an extremely happy group, the three of them. And when Meghan arrived in her first appearance in public with the three, it was meant to be the Fab Four. And on stage, it began to unravel as Meghan began saying how she would use her new status to campaign. And William and Kate said that, that is not what the royal family does. And even Harry said, well, marriage first. And Meghan then snaps, well, we can multitask. There's no need to wait. And that's the point. Meghan, has a history of disturbing relationships with the family. And as predicted by many people, she has now destroyed the relationship between Harry and his family. What's surprising is the question really is whether Harry realizes himself how he has completely cut himself off, and whether if something goes wrong in his own marriage, which is possible, whether he'll be able to survive. I mean, what does he then do? I mean, it's quite extraordinary that he thinks that this can somehow go unchallenged and without an answer. But I've got to tell you one thing which is very important to understand, that King Charles hates confrontations. He is riddled with guilt about what happened to his marriage and his children. And it's very hard to see that he will do the right thing, which is to challenge his son's recollection. That's the problem. They are hiding at the moment, in my view, in Buckingham Palace. They're hoping it will go away, and it won't.
And these two are cashing in on these stories, and they're making hundreds of millions of dollars. So there's no reason to think they'll stop doing that. It's very lucrative for them. One of the allegations that is an eye opener is Harry alleging that William and Kate were not only totally delighted with his Nazi costume, but were behind it, were the reason he wore it in the first place. He says that they howled with laughter when they saw him dressed for this 2005 party. Harry was 20, William would have been 22. And that the Sun newspaper published this front page photo of him dressed as a Nazi soldier. The picture was taken at this costume party with a native and colonial theme. William was also a guest. He dressed as a lion. And this is obtained by Page 6, Harry writing that when he chose the outfit, it was a toss-up between two costumes, a pilot or a Nazi. Quote, I phoned Willie and Kate, asked what they thought. Nazi uniform, they said. Harry writes, adding that when he went home and tried it on for them, they both howled, worse even than Willie's leotard that he was going to wear, way more ridiculous, which again was the point. Then while he's calling this one of the biggest mistakes in his life, in his Netflix series, he goes on to say that, basically that they enjoyed it and that they wanted it, that they would coax him into it. So this dovetails with, I guess, a royal historian Robert Lacey's publication in 2020, where he suggested the first sign of trouble between the brothers came then, at this moment, back when 2005, when Harry was 20, when Harry was resentful. He bore the brunt of public outrage over his Nazi costume, even though William helped choose it. To me, what that tells me, Tom, and you're the expert at this, is that Harry talked to Robert Lacey for Robert's book and was trying to get this story out there for a while now, since the rift after Meghan.
Well, I don't think Harry didn't speak to Robert Lacey. I don't think that. But what I do think is that Harry's friends put that round at a very late date. What is surprising is it took 10 years for this story to emerge. And there's no doubt that at the time of this great furor, if that was true, that it was the idea of the Cambridges, that would have leaked out to Harry's friends and been told to a newspaper. And for all these years, that hasn't come out. So I think, once again, one has to treat this with some skepticism. Why now? It's so easy for Harry to say that, and so difficult for William and Kate to deny it, because then it really does become a fight in the gutter, and he gets away with it. And of course, the ghostwriter will be thrilled with that exchange.
Well, that's a problem. If they give an interview, Prince William, never mind King Charles, you can't go tit for tat on this kind of thing because you lose. I mean, any attention to them, any response by the palace will be welcomed with open arms by Meghan and Harry. It's just another day in the news cycle. So I understand the palace's instincts to just ignore these small people who right now are just trying to make a dime on their association with William, with Charles. Do you think it's tipped over, like we've reached a tipping point where that calculation no longer works?
I do, actually, because I think that after the Netflix series and now this, sympathy for the Sussexes will grow outside Britain and outside various areas in the United States, like the East Coast. I think across Africa and Asia, which is very important for Britain and the Commonwealth, and even in Europe, there will be sympathy for the Sussexes. People will believe what Harry has said. And most important of all, we'll see how the CBS and the ITV, British ITV interviews go down. Will the journalists interviewing Harry really challenge him about the veracity of what he is saying? Will they really say to him, come on, we can't believe you, for example, didn't hit back at William in the row in the cottage kitchen? I mean, if he is not challenged, then we know once again he has orchestrated a wonderful puff piece, just like this book and just like the Netflix series, just like the opera interview. I mean, this is an amazing Hollywood production. It's not over. It's been going on now for 2 years. There's more to come. There's a lot of money to be earned by the trashing of the royal family by Netflix, Random House, CBS, all of them. And at the moment, the royal family is just sitting there, silent lemons, having to accept all the beatings. I don't think they can carry on for much longer like that.
So I've been talking about the amazing extreme altitude wines from the Bonner Private Wine Partnership because they're back. They're back with an amazing offer for my audience. It's winter, of course, and these flavors happen to go great with any hearty meal and meat that you may be serving. They're unlike any wine that you've ever tasted. Blackberry, leather, smoke, little dark cherry in there. Don't you love dark cherry? Makes everything better. The wines are almost impossible to get on your own. The producers deep in the Andes Mountains make limited quantities. Today, I have an amazing offer that I've never had before. If you visit Bonner, BONNER, privatewines.com/MKS, you will not only get wine for over 50% off, plus free shipping, you will also get a bonus bottle of small batch, limited production wine from their exclusive wine cellar. That's 4 bottles for the price of 3. It's a deal that's hard to turn down if you're a wine lover like I am. They've cut out the middleman, so you're not going to pay a big markup. You just visit Bonner, BONNER, privatewines.com/MKS to claim your bonus bottle and become a part of America's most unique wine club. Try these wines and see for yourself. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.